Activity 5, Galactic Gardeners. So, Cosmic and Gemma are about to wave goodbye to Uncle Astro on the moon, but they're really concerned because if he's going to stay there, then he's going to need to have some food. So, what do we think? Can Uncle Astro grow food on the moon? Now, this session can be split into 3 different activities, A, B, and C. If you have support, then you can split your group into 3 and you can run the 3 activities consecutively and carousel around. Or as a whole class, you can do activity A, then go to activity B, and then follow on with an activity C. Entirely up to you. So for activity A, you can use your tree identification guide. It'd be brilliant to take the children into the school ground and to have a look at what you can see in your grounds. Can the children identify any leaves? Can you think about what plants need to grow? If you don't have school grounds, then we have suggested videos that you can use instead for this section. Activity B. In activity B, the children are really trying to develop their observation skills. So in this activity, we're using hand lenses and we're using pre-prepared Petri dishes. We use Petri dishes because they're transparent, and if you haven't got Petri dishes, and anything that is transparent would work. In advance, you will need to print out the vegetable templates, which is in the resource pack, and put the template in the bottom of the Petri dish so that the image is facing the bottom. You're then going to put the corresponding seeds on top so that they are sat on the white disc, and that is what the students will be able to see. Okay, now I've done this for a variety of vegetables. If you don't have these seeds available to you, then you can choose whichever ones you want to. It doesn't really matter. Ones that are great are peas because they look like peas, but other ones you could choose whatever you want to. Courgette seeds are also quite interesting, and so they're really good to use. And then I've got a variety of small seeds as well. So the first activity is to get the children looking at the seeds using the hand lens, and there are some sheets that you can use if you want to, or the children could just use some paper and draw what they can see. Once they've done the drawings, then it would be brilliant if the children can place the vegetable on top of the seed that they think it comes from. So where does the carrot come from? Does it come from the black seeds or from the brown seeds, from the round seeds, and so on? And so you can do a mix and match activity, and then the children can flip over the Petri dishes, ta-da, and see if they are correct. So in activity C, you're going to talk to the children about how the conditions on the moon are different to the conditions on the Earth. To help you to do this, it'd be brilliant to have a bowl of iced water and a bowl of lukewarm water, and then they can feel the difference between the cold and the warm. The conditions on the moon get much warmer than those on Earth, but they also get much, much colder as well. And so what you want to think about is whether we could grow plants in these conditions. So what I would do is encourage your children to fill up some pots with soil, and then you can put some seeds on top of the soil, and they can then put a sprinkling of soil on top of the seeds, and then they could use a pipette to water the seeds if you have any. If you don't, that doesn't matter. They can just pop a bit of water on top. Okay, so it'd be really lovely if you could get lots of pots produced. And then I would talk to the children about how you're going to replicate the conditions on the moon. Now, what I have done in the past is used a freezer. So I've put the pots in the freezer overnight to replicate the really, really cold conditions, and then brought them out into the room during the day, and then I've continued with that process. Half of the pots I've left on the side because that's just the conditions on the Earth. This is an investigation where the children are observing over time, and so the children can go back to the pots daily and they can see if there's any growth at all. So don't forget to water your seeds regularly, and encourage the children to have a look to see if there's growth. You could ask them whether Uncle Astro will be able to produce food on the moon so that he can stay there, or whether he's going to have to come back down to Earth.